The medical bay of Horizon Station hummed with the sterile precision of advanced technology, but beneath that clinical symphony lay something far more human, the quiet desperation of those who refuse to accept defeat. Anna Chen stood beside the medical pod, her fingers pressed against the transparent aluminum surface. Inside lay a small figure, no larger than a human 5-year-old, though the physiology was distinctly non-human. Pale blue skin, delicate cranial ridges, and four-fingered hands that would never again reach for anything. The Velkari child, designated in their records as Subject K7, but whom the medical team had quietly named Kivan, had been dead for 43 minutes. Dr. Chen, the Velkari delegation will dock in 17 minutes, her assistant, Marcus, reported from the doorway. His voice carried the weight of inevitability. Command says we need to prepare the body for transfer. Anna didn't turn. Her eyes remained fixed on Kivan's face, peaceful in a way that broke something inside her every time she looked. 17 minutes is a long time, Marcus. Anna, do you know what their morning ritual involves? She finally looked at him, and Marcus flinched at the intensity in her gaze. They'll take him back to their ship and space him. No ceremony, no remembrance. The Velkari believe that a life lost in foreign space belongs to the void. That's it. A child who survived a transport accident, who fought for 6 days while we tried everything, and he gets thrown into the vacuum like garbage. Marcus stepped closer, lowering his voice. You know it's not our place to judge their customs. The treaty. The treaty, Anna interrupted, her voice sharp as a scalpel, says we must respect their cultural practices. It doesn't say we have to stop being human while we do it. She turned back to the pod, her reflection ghosting over Kivan's still form. The child had crashed 3 weeks ago aboard a Velkari scout ship that had misjudged its approach vector to the station. The adult crew died on impact, but Kivan, secured in an emergency stasis pod, survived, barely. The distress beacon brought him to Horizon Station, where Anna and her team worked around the clock to stabilize him. For 6 days, Kivan had clung to life. His physiology was similar enough to human that their medical technology could help, different enough that every treatment was a calculated guess. Anna had sat with him during the brief periods when he was conscious, teaching him human words. Doctor, he'd whispered once, the translator implant rendering his clicks and chirps into accented English. Stars. See. She'd shown him the observation window, the nebula beyond casting purple and gold across his face. He'd smiled. She was certain it was a smile. That was 2 days ago. Yesterday his triple-chambered heart began to fail. Today it stopped. Dr. Chen, Marcus's voice was gentle now. I know you got attached, we all did, but he's gone. His brain activity ceased 43 minutes ago, Anna said, her voice clinical, detached. Cardiac function terminated. By Velkari medical standards, he is deceased. By human standards. She trailed off, her hand moving to the console beside the pod. By human standards, what? Marcus stepped closer, alarm creeping into his tone. Anna, what are you thinking? The Velkari respiratory cycle operates at near-zero efficiency for the first 30 minutes after birth, she said, pulling up data streams on her neural interface. Their evolutionary biology developed in low-oxygen environments. Death, for them, is absolute. Once the heart stops, cellular degradation is irreversible within minutes. That's not true for humans, Marcus said slowly, understanding dawning. Our resuscitation window is hours under the right conditions. Anna's fingers flew across the holographic interface. CPR, defibrillation, induced hypothermia. We've brought back people whose hearts stopped for over an hour. The Velkari don't have this concept because their biology doesn't allow it. But Kivan isn't human. No, Anna agreed. But his cellular structure is similar enough that cryogenic preservation might slow degradation. His neural pathways are more robust than ours. They have to be for their telepathic bonding. If there's any electrical activity left in that brain, any chance at all. "The delegation is coming to collect a body," Marcus said. "If you try this and fail—" "If I don't try," Anna cut him off, "I'll spend the rest of my life wondering if I killed a child by following protocol instead of following my oath." She looked at him, and in her eyes Marcus saw the same fire that had driven her through medical school, through the selection trials, through every impossible case she'd ever faced. "I became a doctor to save lives, Marcus, not to be a mortician for alien customs." Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then he moved to the secondary console. "What do you need?" "Prepare the neural stimulator. If we can restart even minimal brain function, the automated systems in his biology might kick in. I'm going to manually compress his primary cardiac chamber while we flood his system with oxygenated synthetic plasma." "That's insane." "That's medicine." Anna opened the pod, the seal breaking with a hiss. "We're not playing God, Marcus. We're refusing to play gravedigger." For the next 14 minutes, Horizon Station's medical bay became a battlefield where two humans fought against death itself. Anna's hands moved with practiced precision, compressing Kiven's primary heart in the rhythm she'd calculated from weeks of studying Velkari physiology. Marcus managed the neural stimulator, sending carefully calibrated electrical pulses through Kiven's brain, trying to wake synapses that had gone dark. "No response," Marcus reported. "Anna, it's been 11 minutes. "Again," she commanded. "Increase amplitude by 15%. That could cause permanent damage." "He's dead, Marcus. You can't damage a corpse." Her voice cracked, the clinical facade finally breaking. "Please, one more try." Marcus looked at her, this brilliant, stubborn woman who refused to accept that some battles couldn't be won, and adjusted the settings. The neural stimulator fired. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then Kiven's primary eyelid fluttered. "Oh my God," Marcus breathed. "Anna, I'm reading neural activity. It's faint, but—" "Keep it going." Anna didn't stop compressions, even as hope surged through her. "His heart, come on, Kiven, work with me here." A tremor ran through the small body. Then another. Anna felt it beneath her hands, the faintest flutter of independent cardiac motion. "I have autonomous cardiac function." Marcus's voice rose with excitement. "Primary chamber is contracting. Secondary chamber it's working. Anna, it's working." Anna didn't stop, didn't dare believe it until she saw Kiven's eyes open. All 3 of them, the central one last, focusing on her face with confused awareness. "Doctor," the word came out garbled, weak but unmistakable through the translator. "Cold." Anna laughed, the sound halfway to a sob, and grabbed a thermal blanket. "You're okay, sweetheart. You're going to be okay." The medical bay doors burst open. Commander Stewart strode in, his face grim. "Dr. Chen, the Velkari delegation has docked. They're demanding—" He stopped, staring at the medical pod where Kiven was sitting up, wrapped in a blanket, looking at Anna with wide, confused eyes. "Demanding what, Commander?" Anna asked, not taking her eyes off her patient. Stewart recovered quickly. "They're demanding to know why we haven't prepared the body for transfer." "Because there is no body," Anna said simply. "There's a patient, a living patient who requires continued medical care." "That's impossible," a new voice said from the doorway. The Velkari delegation leader, Ambassador Thexful, entered the room. Tall and imposing, with deep purple cranial ridges denoting advanced age, the ambassador moved with the slow deliberation of someone processing the unthinkable. "We received notification of death. Cardiac cessation was confirmed." "It was," Anna confirmed, "for 43 minutes. Thexful's central eye widened, an expression of shock. "No, the dead do not return. This is not possible in the natural order." "Perhaps not in the Velkari natural order," Anna said carefully. "But humans have developed methods to challenge death itself. We call it resuscitation. If we act quickly enough, we can sometimes bring people back." The ambassador approached the pod slowly, staring at Kiven with an expression Anna couldn't quite read. The child was dead. We felt the severing of the bond, the family link. It broke. "I'm sorry for that pain," Anna said sincerely. "I can't imagine what that must have felt like. But Kivin is alive now. His heart beats, his brain functions. He spoke to me." "Impossible," Thexville repeated, but the word carried less certainty now. The ambassador's hand, 4 long fingers just like Kivin's, reached toward the pod, then withdrew. "The void claimed him. To take back what the void has claimed. This defies the natural law." "With respect, Ambassador," Commander Stewart interjected, "human history is defined by defying natural law. We saw darkness and invented light. We faced disease and created medicine. We looked at death and said, 'Not today.'" He glanced at Anna. "Sometimes we succeed." Thexville was quiet for a long moment, studying Kivin, who had wrapped the blanket tighter and was leaning against Anna's arm. "This child is of the Velkari. His fate is ours to determine." Anna's hand tightened protectively on Kivin's shoulder. "His fate is his own. I saved his life. I won't hand him over to be killed because your customs can't accept what human medicine accomplished." "You presume much, human," Thexville said, but there was no anger in the words, only something like wonder. "To challenge death, to break the void's claim. In our oldest histories, before we reached for the stars, we told stories of those who could do such things. We called them." The translator struggled with the concept. "Those who defy ending, we thought them myths." "We're not mythical," Anna said. "We're just stubborn." For the first time, Thexville made a sound that the translator rendered as laughter. "Stubborn. Yes, this is very human." The ambassador turned to Commander Stewart. "We will need to inform the Velkari Council of this. A life reclaimed from death. This has not occurred in 12,000 cycles of our history." "What does that mean for Kivin?" Anna asked. "It means," Thexville said slowly, "that perhaps we have much to learn from humanity. We measured your worth in trade agreements and military capacity. We did not know to measure it in." Again, the translator struggled. "Refusal to surrender." The ambassador approached Anna directly, looking down at her with all 3 eyes. "You fought for a child not of your species, using methods we thought impossible, risking censure from your own command structure and our diplomatic corps. Why?" Anna met that 3-eyed gaze steadily. "Because he's a child, because I'm a doctor, because every life, human, Velkari, or any other, deserves someone willing to fight for it when everything seems lost." She smiled softly. "Because that's what humanity truly is, Ambassador. We're the species that looks at the impossible and says, 'Watch me.'" Thexville was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, the ambassador extended a hand. 4 fingers spread in what Anna somehow knew was a gesture of deep respect. "Then teach us," Thexville said. "Teach us this refusal to surrender. Teach us to fight death as you do. And in return—" The ambassador looked at Kivin, something like tenderness in that alien face. "We will teach you that some bonds, once broken, can be remade. Kivin will need time to heal, yes." "Weeks at least," Anna confirmed. "His recovery will be complicated." "Then I will stay," Thexville decided, "and I will learn how humans turn myth into medicine." As the ambassador left to contact the Velkari Council, Marcus turned to Anna. "You realize you just changed interspecies relations forever, right? They're going to want to study our medical techniques, share technology." "Good," Anna said simply, watching Kivin's eyes drift closed in natural sleep, his breathing steady and strong. "Maybe some good can come from all this." Commander Stewart lingered in the doorway. "Dr. Chen, what you did, disobeying direct orders, ignoring treaty protocols." "I know, Commander. I'm ready to face whatever consequences." "Was the most human thing I've ever seen," Stewart finished. "The Velkari came here expecting to find primitives playing with technology we don't fully understand. Instead, they found someone who wouldn't let a child die just because it was easier than fighting." He smiled. "Carry on, Doctor." As the medical bay emptied, Anna remained beside Kiven's pod, her hand resting gently on the transparent surface. In sleep, he looked peaceful again, but this time the peace was different, not the stillness of death, but the quiet of healing. Doctor, Kiven's eyes opened slightly, the translator rendering his whisper, "Stars, see again." Anna smiled and adjusted his pod to face the observation window, where the nebula painted the cosmos in impossible colors. "Yes, sweetheart, all the stars you want." "Thank you," Kiven whispered, "for not giving up." "That's what we do," Anna said softly. "We're human, we never give up." Outside the window, the stars burned eternal, and inside Horizon Station, a small alien child lived because one human refused to accept that death was the end of the story. That perhaps was what humanity truly was, not the strongest species, not the wisest, but the ones who looked at the impossible and tried anyway. The ones who measured worth not in power or knowledge, but in the refusal to abandon even a single life. The ones who, when death came calling, sometimes had the audacity to send it away empty-handed.